So if they're just 40 years, there is a whole part of Iran that has never supported them because Iran was a liberal country. It was ruled by the king, but it was fairly liberal. And there is a yearning in Iran, a movement in Iran to restart some kind of liberal democracy. Or will the king come back? But these are issues that can only happen after the Islamic Republic roots are removed. Will a couple of bombings of the US and Israel trigger a mass uprising in Iran? Is something I don't believe is going to happen at the moment. To have a regime change like the kind that was there in Iraq or the kind that was there in Syria requires boots on the ground. And those boots on the ground are not likely to happen in the near future. Bombing will definitely not change. What will change is that Iran's nuclear ambitions will be set back. What will change is that MBS will
There's a light that is coming from Washington, so just let me dip into that, sir.
Your assessment of this overall operation, the silence and the deception from the US side, it probably relaxed the Iranians a bit. Do you agree on that? And talk to us about how this operation was ideated and executed.
Well, I think in many ways this thing was planned, maybe 15 years ago. I mean, there is a sense that we have that there have been assets in Iran for a very long time. But I think something around 8 months ago, we understand that the drones that were used to attack a lot of the scientists and the military men, these were the initial waves and the strikes that were carried out. This was done from Iranian soil. It was done right under the nose of the Iranians. Not that too different from what we saw from Operation Spiderweb, what the Ukrainians did in striking Russian aircraft on Russian soil. And so what you can see is years of planning and then months of planning and then flawless execution. The Mossad, the IDF, the Israeli Air Force, Israeli military intelligence, and now, of course, U.S. intelligence, U.S. military. It has all come together in a very seamless way. It actually almost feels inevitable now that we look at it. This is a truly remarkable moment here in the Middle East.
Light that was coming from Washington, the wire service are, feeding in. My colleague Krishna continues to be there. General Chauhan, you were speaking about the nature of the Persian state.
So what my issue was that will a couple of bombings actually affect regime change? That's the main thing. Iran, the civilization can't be removed. Iran is a large country. It's almost half of the size of India. And you cannot remove it by a couple of bombs. But can you remove the regime is some question that we all should be asking. So I feel that without boots on the ground, without bringing soldiers in, and by forcing a regime change, there will be no regime change. If there is no regime change, then you get the same lot of people, only people who might be more radical than the previous lot. Are you going to get people who are willing to change the theocracy, who are willing to bring in a little more freedom? Only time will tell. But at the moment, there seems no leader in Iran at the moment who can carry or who can have the ability to change the dimension that this theocratic state of Iran has taken it to. So these are issues, Karthik, that we have to look at, because the longer the involvement of the US in Iran will ensure that there will be the need for boots on the ground. That's something that US wants to avoid at the moment. It's okay for a stand of war. It's okay for bombing a couple of times, but you can't force regime change. And if you can't force regime change, then there will be really no difference. I remember Christine Fair talking about the same thing, bringing it to perspective with Pakistan.